as we are back here for the fourth and final quarter here between the New York Liberty and the Las Vegas Aces. Kajan Theruthany Castlem joining me, Spencer Byers. Kajan will have to run during this fourth quarter, so eventually I will just say Kajan is gone, and he won't be coming back tonight. He'll be working the Raptors game tonight while they play against a I think you said Italian outfit there, Kajan?
The Taipans, I think they're in Australia.
Oh, Aussie team. There you go. As that shot by Johannes, no good. Rebounded by Wilson. The Aces really need a good start to this fourth quarter if they want to come back in this one, Cage.
I think I'm a little bit ahead of you, so I won't say what happens next.
Yeah, I experienced that earlier in the quarter, Cage. I tried to fix it, but obviously I didn't as Young makes the two.
You're about to see some explicit ball movement, though.
Oh, we'll see if I still see it here as I tried to refresh my page to try to catch up to you. And Thornton hits the three there in the corner after the excellent ball movement.
I was about to say Vandersloot gave up a wide open layup, but hey, if it led to a wide open three-pointer, so be it.
Clark now trying to bully an Eskew. Step around, lay in, no good, but gets the foul on an Eskew.
Am I really hearing the baby on the speakers?
I mean, probably. I assume that's the speakers in your arena, not the one playing now in the WNBA Finals.
Mm-hmm.
They're like they're A-Town rappers, Kate. I don't know what to tell you.
Isn't he from Charlotte? Oh,
Well, I know he's from the South. I couldn't tell you where exactly. As that ball is taken there by Chelsea Gray. And I actually do think you're right. I think he is from the Carolinas. As Plum now for Jackie Young. And a battle through Thornton. Gives it off now to Plum with a beautiful cut. We haven't seen that all night, Cage. That's the first real cut we've seen by the Aces here. And it was Plum.
And you gotta give credit to the Liberty here. They're saying, like, mentioning that that's the first cut that we've seen.
And now Ioannis gets the foul there off of Plum. So it'll be a couple free throws here for Marine Ioannis. And I'm surprised, as I heard the broadcaster say it, so I guess I will repeat it. It is Johannes. I'm surprised that's the way they pronounce her last name. But she does make number one. As Johannes makes number two. Chelsea Gray or Kelsey Plum for three. No good. There for Plum. Vandersloot for three. No good. The Aces really need to take a run at this lead here. They need a couple makes and a couple misses. As Gray. Round. Gray for Plum. Plum for Wilson. No good. Passed in. Johannes Vandersloot wide open is Benijah Laney, no good, but rebounded by Jonquel Jones.
Well, that's good ball movement. Unfortunately,
Jones gives it away. Quickly up for Young, who can't get it to go and can't get the foul. Everything going Liberty way here in this one. Into the middle. Jonquel Jones got whacked, and they're going to call that on Plum.
and that's her fourth. And after a hot first half for Chelsea Plum, she's only had 2 points in this second half.
And Stewart gets the floater to go. As now Plum, Wilson, didn't even think about shooting that one, gives it up to Young. Young to Wilson, and they're going to call it there against Stewart.
Didn't ever feed center wasn't there in time.
As Wilson makes number one. Yeah, by the way, Wilson, 3 for 14 here in game 3. Not very good here by the former MVP. Yeah, and 6 for 12 from the free throw line for the Liberty. So they've already given up 6 points on the charity strap, and they're still up by 10.
Mm-hmm.
Which shows you how poorly the Aces have played in this one, but again, how good the Liberty have played on defense. As an SQ for Benijah Laney, no good. Plum rebounds with 6 minutes left here in the fourth quarter. Clark in for Wilson. Wilson, Jay, it's good over Jonquel Jones. That one's stolen by Wilson. Intended pass there to Jonquel Jones, and Brianna Stewart gets the foul there, and AJ Wilson will go back to the charity strap. That's what the Aces really needed, Kajan. Force a turnover or a miss, and get another chance to get some more points.
And it's your best player making those plays on both ends of the floor. Asia Wilson may be 4 for 15, but has made some big plays here late in this fourth quarter. It remains to be seen if maybe that'll lead Vegas, if that'll get Vegas going, but a good sign nonetheless.
Well, let's also say something, Kate, we talked a lot about in the second game. No team has ever come back from 2-0 down in the WNBA playoffs. 0 for 17 in the playoffs, 0 for 8 in the finals are teams that are down 2-0. So even with a win here, the Liberty have a lot of work to do to come back in this series. And again, not just come back, but make history. And as you and I've talked about, Cage, it's not like this team can't do it. It's that we haven't seen them show us something that they could do to be able to come back in this series, Cage. This is the first time I can say the Liberty have shown us something where maybe, just maybe, Cajun, they can come back in this series.
Mm-hmm. The better question, the bigger issue is they could do this. Forget if they hang on to win in game 3, they could do this in game 4. But can that translate in Vegas?
Or will the Aces show up in game 2 or in game 4, but game 2 in Brooklyn? Or as you mentioned, Cage, if it does somehow get back to Vegas before game 5, which will be next Friday, or this coming Friday, I should say, if we need it, if it's needed. if the Aces show back up in Vegas, because they were dominant at home.
Absolutely.
Do want to mention here the Aces have not won a quarter. They lost the first quarter 21-18, tied the second quarter 22-all, lost the third quarter 18-10. They already got 9 in this fourth quarter, but they only have about 5 minutes or so to be able to get themselves closer.
Mm-hmm.
But what a comeback this would be for the Aces if they are able to make a real run at this lead.
It would be, and if they come back and win this, they would end a perfect postseason in style. Might I mention they have not lost a game yet in this postseason.
They have not. This could be their first loss.
And the question being, like, how do you adjust? How do you adjust? Now the bigger question is, you're kind of in uncharted territory if you're the Aces, having not lost a game in this postseason. If they do lose Game 3, how's the mindset going to be?
That is always kind of the thought cage of what could happen as A'ja Wilson again back to the line to make this lead a little slimmer. She makes number 1. As Wilson's going to make number 2. As it looks like Kajan has departed us. As he will get.
See y'all tomorrow. On polar opposites. I will be keeping an eye on this game whenever I have the time to. Hopefully there is a game 4.
We'll see if there is a game 4 if we have to come back on Wednesday night or if we're done here. As Inescu, no good. Rebounded though by the Liberty. As Kajan and I, again, as he mentioned, will be back tomorrow for Polar Opposites as your regularly scheduled programming. Stewart loses the ball in the double. Clark, Plum, nobody wanted that one. That was hot potato there for a second for the Aces. 6-point deficit for the white shirts. And a whistle as the timeout is taken by the Aces. As we continue here, still 67-61 in the fourth quarter. Vandersloot trying to get through, not really able to. Gives it off there to Stewart, who gets it to go. And Becky Hammond is going to take a timeout. As we'll most likely go back to commercial here between the Aces and Liberty as Liberty try to pull away and force a Game 4 in Brooklyn. And with that, Kajan again is gone. So it'll just be me, myself, and I here to end this broadcast. Right, because the Liberty can come back in this series and force us to a Game 4 on Wednesday again at 8 p.m. start. Cage and I will be bringing you that one if the game does end up happening. We'll see if it works out that way. It'll be interesting to see if it does because of how this series has gone and the struggles we've seen both teams have now, but specifically how we've seen the struggles continue for the Liberty, specifically on offense. Again, they've done great on defense, but offensively, you would like to see them continue to push this Aces team as, you know, the Liberty are out shooting them, but you'd still like to see them really pull away, and they haven't really pulled away just yet. And now back to action. Ooh, and yeah, it looks like Chelsea Gray just pulled up, so that's another problem here for the Aces as Chelsea Gray is not feeling too hot. Something wrong with one of her legs, look like her left leg. She hops off and she's going to the locker room. It is her left leg. And that means with that the Aces will have to go deep into their bench without Chelsea Gray, who isn't one of the players who's played the whole game in Jackie Young or Kelsey Plum, but still, she is not in a good spot. So now coming on is Kirsten Bell. So we'll see if the Aces can come back without one of their best players. And that's an everyday turnover already as Laney will lay it up and in. And that's Young who had the easy turnover. Back to a 10-point lead. Plum. Plum. It's good for Kelsey Plum. Again, easily been the best ace tonight. Stewart trying to get through, and they're going to call the foul. And it will be Bell getting the foul. We'll see how long that Bell stays on the floor, if they'll switch back on Stokes and play a three-big set there with Clark, Wilson, and Stokes. That's a make there for New York. And I believe that might have been Laney as Plum, pardon me, as Kelsey Plum through Bell's hands. As Gray is not in a good way there in the locker room. She is definitely in some discomfort. That left leg. That's a foul against Vegas as they show Kelsey Plum in a very bad way, and she continues, and I don't want to say it, but I guess I'm going to have to here, kind of screaming in agony as she goes down the tunnel. Vandersloot. That shot for Jones, and it's good. And that might be the final nail in the coffin here for the Aces, as we might be needing a game 4 on Wednesday. Wilson fakes around Stewart, trying to get around Jones. Couldn't roll it in. I would have mentioned Bell is out. It's now Stokes, Clark, and Wilson all playing the forward positions. So I think technically Clark will be playing guard, and there's going to be a foul. And it's going to be a bonus for the Liberty to take some shots here off the foul. And Stewart will go to the line, makes number 1. So now the Aces got to stay a little longer in Brooklyn for game 2. And that shot there from Stewart. Plum now the other way for Jackie Young. Young in for Alicia Clark. Clark back out for Plum, who floats it, no good, and rebounded by Inescu, but gives away to Stokes. Stokes for Young. Jackie Young for Clark, no good. Rebounded though by Stokes again. Plum this time for 3, rattled in there for the Aces. Too many offensive rebounds let up there by the Liberty. Stewart now with possession. Plum's got 23. She's 8 for 20 from the floor, 4 for 9 from 3. Is the best ace tonight, as Inescu for long range, and it's good. And the Liberty really come alive in the end of this fourth quarter. They now got 21 points. Make that actually 23 points in this quarter. As Wilson again with a turnover. Turnovers have been killer here for the Aces. I think some more changes to the rotation there for Las Vegas as they're going to take out some more starters. 13 to 10 of the turnovers right now for Las Vegas. They have 13 turnovers. That is, I'll say 13 too many, but well too many there as Young and Wilson both come out. And it will be a game now coming on Wednesday as Stokes, Young, and Wilson all take a seat. Plum is still on the floor. I think Plum's got to stay because of the injury to Chelsea Gray. And now up the floor, and that's a make there for Vandersloot. Now the Aces just have to get themselves geared up and ready for Wednesday in Game 4. That mid-range, no good. Rebounded, though, by the Liberty for the second, but then it goes out for the Aces. As now the New York Liberty starters will all come out, so now it'll be full reserves the last minute of the game. And the Liberty really needed this one in this one. As Plum for three, it's good. Plum has been so good for the Aces, just nobody else really matched her in this game. As Johannes passed in, back out quickly, and it's good. And that would be, I believe, Kayla Thornton. 4-3. As now laid in, there for the Aces was Kelsey Plum, who got fouled as well. 33% from the field right now are the Aces compared to 52% for the Liberty. And again, they've really struggled in this one out of the Aces offensively. 33%. That's great defense by the home side. As Plum makes the free throw. And that is a playoff career high for Kelsey Plum in this loss, is 29 points at this point. Johannes passed across the top of the key. That one got blocked, but it's going to be a foul against the Aces. And Candace Parker is there behind the bench, but she is still injured with that foot injury, and still, I bet she is begging to come back into this series, but I don't think it'll be a possibility. And she's been out since July 9th. His first free throw is no good for the Liberty. And it will be interesting to see if Gray is able to come back for Game 3. As Kelsey Plum down the other way for the Aces with no shot clock involved. Into the corner. That shot, no good off the side of the rim. Or off the side of the backboard. And that will be the game. 87-73 win for the Liberty. Made it a lot more lopsided than it probably should have been. But a great second half here by the Liberty. Pull away, and Brondello must be happy with her team pulling away in Game 3. Their first finals win since September 4th of 1999. Their second win in franchise history in the finals. We'll see if they can make it number 3 in Game 4 and force a Game 5 back in Vegas, or if my prediction does ring true of this series not going back to Vegas for Game 5. That'll be here for us from Polar Opposites. For Kajan, Ruthani Castle, I'm Spencer Byers. Thank you so much. Join us tomorrow for Polar Opposites, your regularly scheduled programming here on the Outrage Inc.